Hey everybody, good morning, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Got another day of Overwatch coming at you here on BaseTradeTV. Rifkin and Zombie Grub reporting in. How you doing today, Zombie Grub?
Hello. How do I sound today?
So far, okay.
Yeah, right then.
We're going to put like an asterisk on that though, because for those who haven't been watching the last few weeks, we've been riddled with these issues that have come out of nowhere, sound being one of them. We have some workarounds, we have some plan Bs, but it is my hopes that we don't have to go through any of them in the first place.
Yeah.
Also learned that despite the fact that during the beta, 1080p was a totally acceptable way to stream Overwatch, for whatever reason, in a live client it's not, so 720 it is. Feels lower resolution, man. Now, I did something a little bit silly, Zombie Grub. This is where you're supposed to be like, what did you do, Rifkin?
I said, what's that? What did you do?
Oh, I didn't hear that at all. I bought... Well, that's not a good start. Fuck. I bought 50 loot boxes. And specifically so I could open them during downtime today. Yay!
Oh, well, that's not a bad idea. I was going to say I already bought 50 loot boxes.
Well, see, my problem isn't so much that I bought 50 loot boxes. Like, the spend and the money, okay, that sucks. But it's more that I shouldn't have done this now because I see this icon that says, open me, open me. And I don't want to open them just yet. Although...
I see.
We may get to open a couple before the first game of the day. It all depends, of course, on how quickly teams are ready and able to play. The bracket command, as we're speaking, as you're hearing us live on stream, will likely not be up to date just yet. There is a stream delay, about a couple of minutes, but we do have a 16-player bracket or sign up today.
Probably a little bit less, actually, as some of these teams aren't checking in.
And a couple are the ones that qualified through as well from last week's, like Velociraptor Gaming.
They haven't checked in, so they're included. I imagine we'll get like maybe 10 to 12. Everything is said and done. So definitely smaller than last week's bracket.
Yeah, not nearly as much as I would hope, but still it fills up the other 4 slots for the qualifier. And if it is going to be a smaller bracket, though, we will just cast every qualifying match. So at the very least today, guys, you're guaranteed 4 best of 3s, if nothing else. But I think it should be an interesting set of matches. I will say from last time, we did learn a couple of things. Number one, for me, was the reminder of how starkly frustrating it is to spectate Overwatch. There's a lot of things missing that I wish it had, but I will do my best for you guys again today.
The good news is, didn't they update this recent patch with... what is the word for it? Like, stable camera angles?
Oh, if they did, that'd be amazing. Is that live right now? I don't think so, right?
No, I think it was the patch along with Anna and Junkrat and everyone. I'll check though again, because of course everyone focuses on the balance stuff and very rarely on the camera and the bug fixes. So jump to section patch highlights, general updates, user interface updates. I don't know, maybe that was something that they were thinking about doing, so I could read this all day, actually. It's a pretty long one.
I'm just looking for the hotkeys, because if it was updated, it would be in the keys, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't, as I think that would be in spectating.
Yeah, I don't see...
Wishes.
Static camera, 1 through 9, but how do I set the static camera?
I would say the easiest would be if they just made it, like you said, location cameras in StarCraft 2, but I don't think that's what they did.
No, I'm looking at... So the options there, this could be interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder... So I did actually read it, I'm not crazy.
Maybe there's static cameras preset in each of the maps. I'm actually going to hop into a lobby and test this really quick.
General updates, the one place I wasn't looking. Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a game full of AIs and just test real quick.
I guess you missed the other updates, I suppose. But so static cameras are now supported in spectator mode. That's the one that you're experimenting with. Team names can now be edited in custom games, which is pretty cool. And then a bunch of other things have happened, like raising voice lines and stuff. And also custom games can now be paused. Yay! Things happening. Actually, speaking of things happening, thank you to Bovine Intervention for the 21-month resub. It's been
Whoa.
actually a couple days since we've cast,
They've-
so welcome back.
They've actually changed a couple of things here, and the first thing I noticed is the camera. You're gonna notice this, I think, when you go into the game too.
They
It's-
have said camera movement has been improved, which I
It's-
don't know what that means exactly.
It's like wobbly is the best way I can describe it. Like,
It's bully?
hmm?
What did you say?
Wobbly.
Oh, I thought you said it's bully. Like, you're like from the 20s.
So 1 through 9 is doing nothing right now. I'm waiting for the game to start to see. Science. All right, for StarCraft, it's what? Control F1 or something, right? How do you set your camera hotkey?
The default in StarCraft 2 is Shift.
Oh, no, this other
F5.
works. Okay, so if I press 1, it slowly takes me back to the angle of 1. That's cool. So they have updated some of the user interface stuff, specifically things I wanted to see, which is always nice. But now it's going to be even more of a pain in the ass to remember what hotkeys I'm setting where. Alright, so if I double tap, it'll take me the right away. That's super cool, guys! You have no idea how awesome that is.
Why, I wish you could watch it.
Well, you'll be able to fiddle and see. I think, like, because for me, the big things were setting above the control points that were not available before.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's hop out of this. Let's hop into the waiting for people's thing.
Waiting for people thing.
It's just, you're going to notice the camera movement. I can't... Maybe wobbly was the wrong term. It's more like it feels like you're holding a medicine ball and trying to walk around. Is like the not even an accurate
so
way. Never
It
mind.
kind of pushes against you?
You'll see. It's not as fluid as it was before, but I think it's better. It's smooth. I think is probably what they were going for with it.
Yeah.
Bovine Intervention. Thank you for the 21-month resub. Okay, you'll link the brackets in Twitch chat, then I'll update them over there.
Okay. Okay, so we do have a couple of buys. This is actually already... It's automatically generated by the Go-To Gamer website to kind of give seeds as well. So I actually have not looked into the teams that signed up today. Some of the teams look familiar from last time.
Well, some names to say. You got Gale Force right there, right off the bat. You look at that straight in the face. You've got Vinculum coming back, who were really good last time. You've got Tempest Overwatch trying to make their return. So there are some familiar-ish names. I will say, though, you should probably contact the admin. And what we'll do is we'll just, because there are so few games, we'll cast one in the round of 1, and then we'll cast every single qualifying match. So the players, unfortunately, will have to wait to play those.
Okay.
And we'll just go from ready to last ready, I guess, like whichever team's ready to go first. Okay, so to explain to those who aren't up in the know of what's going on, first off, hello! This is BaseTradeTV's first step into Overwatch since the game launched live. We did throw one tournament and a show match back in the beta. It was kind of fun, and we definitely wanted to do more, but things kept coming up. Schedules were unforgiving, and we didn't really get a chance to do more. This is our chance to do more. We're partnered with TING for this, so big thank you to TING for being the big sponsors of the tournament. Make sure to check out bttv.ting.com, guys. Get your $25 in credit and all that goodness. But also, just go to the website. Let them know that you're visiting, that you saw it on BaseTradeTV, that you're curious enough to click. But, so yeah, there's $1,200 up for pricing. We will have the Match Reno stuff set up for the main event. Unfortunately, not available just yet, so you guys will see a little bit more prize money hopefully come in for these players and these teams. But if not, also not the biggest deal in the world, because $1,200 is a pretty nice base prize pool. There'll be $900 awarded to the first place team of the tournament and $300 to the second place team of the tournament. But that aside, this is our second set of qualifiers. I will say, let's go over the pros and cons of what we've seen so far, right? We'll start with the cons so we can end with a higher note before we get into the games today. Cons. Way harder to advertise in Overwatch. And I don't mean in terms of like our sponsors, but in terms of the tournament. Posting on Reddit gets downvoted real quick. Putting anything in the competitive Overwatch Discord or whatever you want to call it, like, people just don't read that or glaze past. Their messages filtered out way too fast. Twitter, obviously, our fan base is mostly StarCraft and not Overwatch. So, again, not a lot of crossover there, unfortunately. So, getting the word out about the tournament has been a little bit difficult. Getting signups has been a bit of a pain in the butt. And as you guys can see from the brackets, we don't have that many to show for in the second qualifier. That being said, there will be 8 teams in total for the final event. And that event will be able to mix and match and seed the bracket and hopefully set up for the best possible outcome. That being said, I can't think if there's be any other questions. I guess for those who aren't too familiar with Overwatch, as you watch today, we'll be doing our best to try and just talk about the game because we really like watching the game. We're gonna treat it kind of like BaseTradeTV. You know, it's more relaxed and just we want to enjoy what we're seeing alongside you guys rather than present to you like this crazy super professional experience. But I think we'll be able to add enough professionalism to the cast to make it worth watching. And yeah, that's about that. So our goal for the very first broadcast too, or so for the cons, was 600 viewers. We didn't reach half of that, and that felt bad, man. I'm hoping that we can maybe do it today. So if you guys have got Twitter, you got a couple of friends you want to drag in. If your favorite teams are playing, please do us the favor and share about the stream and about the qualifier. Because above all else, it's not about our ego for viewership, but it's more about trying to make sure TING gets a little bit of return on their investment so they're perhaps more willing to do more in the future.
Yep.
I will say, too, for our StarCraft fans, don't worry. Season 3 of TING has nothing to do with the Overwatch success or failure of this tournament. In fact, I'm very much looking forward to meeting Jesse at BlizzCon. We haven't seen him since like last year when we were in Toronto. But we'll be meeting Jesse in person at BlizzCon. We'll be talking more about TING Season 3 opportunities and possibilities for StarCraft.
Well, trying to get into a game now. I'm trying to contact one of the players, at least from Gale Force or Selfless GG. If that doesn't work out, then probably gonna go to I would guess Vinculum. Vinculum.
Yeah, I remember them having a funny
Asked them
name to
before.
say. It was like that Japanese team of lineup of people. I would like to see them
Japanese.
again. You remember they all have the Japanese portraits or whatever?
Oh, they have the Japanese flag. Is that them? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, whilst Zombie Grub looks, I'm going to open some loot boxes. Because I want to. So, my only goal is to get the Mercy skin. No, I got Junkenstein right off the bat. Feels bad, man. Dr. Jameson Junkenstein. I literally never play Junkrat. So we're going to open up maybe 5 boxes and hope for Mercy. Come on. Oh, boo. I hate you, May.
Wow, don't hate May.
I hate May so much, dude. Legendary! No, it's Anna. I don't... well, Anna's is kind of cool, I guess. But it's like the Wasteland skin. It's not even like the Halloween skin, so it feels bad, man.
Oh, does feel bad.
Oh.
Finding players in Overwatch is 10 times more difficult. One day they'll make lobbies, though. Or chat channels, rather.
Well, I didn't, unfortunately, get anything cool out of these first 5, but we'll come back later and open some more.
Okay.
Feels sad,
Nothing
man.
cool? Really?
I got like an Anna take a knee pose, I guess, which was Nito Burrito, and Roadhog headbang thing.
Okay.
Yo, for those who haven't seen the Mercy skin I'm trying to get, by the way, I guess I can go back to the login screen, because oh my great googly moogly, she is so beautiful. You know, the thing is, like, her outfit on her normal skin and other things looks fine, and like I don't think Mercy's any more sexy because she's wearing like black or anything like that. It's the eyeshadow, dude, and like the half open eyelid is just like she's giving you that look, like ooh.
I have been listening to you, and I've been hearing lots of oohs and ahs about Mercy. But, ooh and ah, we're finally in our lobby, so I'm going to invite you now.
Yay! It kind of sucks that I can't. That's another thing I definitely miss from StarCraft, not being able to real ID in.
Yeah, at least it's not super, like, okay, super complicated isn't the right word, but at least I can invite you in.
Yeah.
Because if it was like 3 years ago, like BattleNet, then I have to make sure that everyone friends everyone.
Which are the teams? Because I have to set up red and blue here.
They actually have it up. Don't you see them?
Oh, cool. Will that show up in game?
Yeah. So,
Wait, so
I was
can
wondering,
I just
actually,
get rid of my thing then?
Yeah, that's what I I didn't want to say
Whoa.
just in case I was like the 0.1% chance I was wrong, but I've been watching a lot of Overwatch and they have included this. And at first I was like, wow, this production is really seamless. Like, how did they keep on doing it so quickly? But then I realized in the patch notes when they said that you can assign team names, they really do mean like a
Like literally, like here,
way.
let me show everyone like what we're talking about here. Like, so I've got this set up at the top. I may completely axe everything up here because I don't know what it's gonna look like in game yet. But Gale Force eSports and Selfless, this used to just simply be like Team 1 and Team 2. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty neato burrito. But anyways, going back to the brackets for a moment. Actually, I can show you guys another set of brackets, which arguably may be more important. Where's the scene? Whoop. These are the teams that have already qualified through the first qualifier. We had Q question mark, Velociraptor Gaming, H2K Overwatch, and Toronto eSports. They will, of course, get 4 opponents from today, and this bracket will be the end bracket for the final event, where all the money is on the line. But this will be kind of neat. I really don't know what to expect. Panic Switch for the 27-month resub says, "Where's my child support, Rifkin?" Oh, haven't you been getting the checks? I definitely sent them in the mail.
We do have their Overwatch draft.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this cool thing.
Yep, so you can kind of see, I guess, the fanciness of it all.
Yeah, put this up on screen for y'all to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, girlfriend experience. Sorry, I mean Gale Force eSports already vetoing.
What do you think this is to mean?
Do you not know what that is?
No.
Well, I'm not going to brag about it because it's not something I should know. But I do want to point out, Ilios is the only control point one taken out right away. We still got Lijiang, we still got Nepal. Like, we were seeing so many of these control point maps just axed immediately. And looks like Selfless is going to be not shy to that. This might be bait out of Gale Force too, just saying, haha, you can take all the vetoes for these ones.
Maybe. It's like trying to be not the person vetoing Dasan Station.
I actually can hope Lijiang makes it through over Route 66, or even Dorado.
Oh, I do. Well, okay, so, I mean, already we don't have King's Row, right, which is a super common one that we saw last time. So I'm already, like, a little bit more excited about this. Unfortunately, Overwatch is of a little bit of, like, the maps that everyone likes are very clear syndrome, shall we call it. So it can be repetitive sometimes, but there's mix-ups. Ah, damn it. Okay, well, we still have Route 66. That's at least different, even though it's not my favorite map at all. I actually really, I mean, I think it's obvious by now that both of us really like King of the Hill maps.
Yep.
But then for the other maps, I really like, probably my least favorite would be, I want to say Hanamura. I really don't like that map. And then probably Route 66. I just have always hated the map layout. And then Hollywood for me. But the Halloween Hollywood actually really made me like it a lot more.
I actually have a fun story about Hanamura. By the way, just quickly noting, they did in fact take the bait, and looks like Selfless has completely removed all of the control point maps. But this will be Numbani with loser's pick of either Dorado or Route 66, so that'll be interesting to see. My comment was, though, I can't say who because they very specifically asked me not to, but there was actually a Korean pro StarCraft player playing on North America for whatever reason, Overwatch, that I bumped into last night during a ranked match. And I was like, real question mark? And they didn't answer, so I messaged them on Skype, and they're like, yeah, but don't tell, please. And I guess he was playing on North America because he didn't want to get caught playing on Korea through the friends list or something like that.
What? Super interesting.
I just thought it was really funny. I was like, okay, did not expect this. By the way, this isn't anything drama, guys. I'm just, they asked me not to say, so I'm not saying. But it was really funny, like, 2 a.m., last game before bed.
Oh.
Speaking of Korean shit, who was that? Nova War donates $50. Says, here's payment plus interest and a little extra for being a legend. Oh, this because I sent him 2 of those pins from PAX. Thank you, dude. I hope all is well in your life and your car is sorted and all that good stuff, man. Thank you for the $50 and blowing my ears off in the process. You're the top Korean caster of the day. Thank you, Siri1, as well for the 30-month resub.
Okay, so we're still getting the lobby set up. They actually didn't invite their 6th yet. We also have so we do have a rule, just perfecting, I suppose, our rule set and whatever, that sometimes people will want to watch. That is to say, like, managers want to watch or the sub wants to watch their teammates play, and unfortunately, put it that the other team does have to accept it. And
So we just tell them to watch the stream, man. Just watch the stream. We need that extra one viewer. Get on. Get over.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But now it looks like everyone who is playing is actually in, so...
Cool.
I already told them that the casters are ready whenever. And we should be ready to go. So actually, I know Gale Force eSports sounds really familiar, and I looked and I expected to see some information on GoTo Gamers for them, and there's nothing. So either I'm crazy...
They have a Heroes team, which might be what you're thinking of.
Maybe that is what I'm thinking of. The limited amount that I watch Heroes, or know anything about Heroes, is all about Gillyweed on Twitter, basically.
So if Gilly's not tweeting about him, then you don't know him. All right,
exactly, but that might have been it, because I was super expecting, and there's actually nothing there. So maybe it is a new team, Overwatch team for that overarching brand name, I suppose.
Okay, move your camera, by the way. You're going to see immediately what I was talking about.
I see what you mean. It is like I'm a little bit drunk.
Yeah, that's probably one way to put it.
Like, everything's happening like a second after I do it. What was happening?
It's for smoothing, which I find interesting. But, okay, now I got to figure out, like, where the most opportune points to put the camera are. Because, like, I could, like, preset the cameras and stuff. Like, that's really cool. I really like that. So, Control 1 to set one point. Control 2 to set another. As I will very poorly skip between them as the game goes on.
Yeah, I really, like, okay, the camera thing is, like, taking some getting used to, but I do appreciate their attempt to help. They really need a smart camera, though. The more that I watched, like, the live studio productions, the more I was so jealous that they just get to watch their monitor and have, like, this super special guy, Observer, do all the work.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to, I really don't know the best places to put these cameras, I'm gonna be honest. There's, like, 1, 2, 3... And I guess I'll change and edit those as we push through the map. Because counting behind 3, that's a whole can of worms right there. Now, anyways, talking about the teams we got right now on the defense for Gale Force Esports. I don't see the in-game thing, so I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave up mine for safety's sake here. But
well, damn, I was really depending on that.
Well,
which one was which?
Blue is Gale Force Esports. Red is Selfless. So we got Gale Force on the defense and. What a surprise, a Mei comes out. Mei has been making such an annoying appearance, I will say, in a lot of these defender situations. And I'm obviously not too big of a fan of Mei myself, but she does good work when it comes to blocking people out.
I mean, she's kind of like what everyone thought Tracer was going to be, I suppose, for like their own personal experience. That just hyper annoying character to play against, because when she's played really well, the freaking like Mei walls that deny your ult, or just thinking that you got her, then she can be really annoying. But I actually really like her and her stable appearance in tournament competitive play. So I'm enjoying this. As I talk about her, she goes down.
Yeah, Selfless actually did a great job taking control of the high ground there, and I wasn't expecting Genji to get through and get so much damage done, but darts right through the team and of course helped make sure they could secure this payload.
Yeah. So again, we don't know much about Gale Force, but if they really are a team that's, I guess, first coming together and their team name isn't just coincidental to that Heroes team, then it could be that this is the first time they're really playing in a competitive atmosphere together, and communication might be the biggest problem that they face. Like, I obviously do not know about their individual play, but so far Selfless looking like they're taking quite a bit control.
Yeah, of course that wall goes up, won't stop the payload, but will block shots. Ult gets a bit wasted as Reinhardt manages to soak it with his shield. Most of his team does not get stunned. Winston jumping in that back line, doing what he can, and of course we see Mei go down once again. A little bit of caster bias showing through as I smile greatly every time that happens.
And McCree, a Deadeye, not really working out doing too much, but he is still, I mean, you got Lucio right there, and they're actually just pushing through really, really solid. Gale Force still missing one of their characters here. It's the Lucio finally pops up, and he will have his ultimate. It's going to be 3 ultimates against 4, actually, in the and there we go. Actually, ult going on everywhere. Calvin getting that nano boost, trying to go after the Ana. Actually, not landing very much. It feels like a bit of a waste. Actually, he goes down.
Yeah, no sleep goes off. I was a little bit worried for the moment, but the damage just simply wasn't there. And looks like Selfless pushes through to that second point, locks it down. Very minimal deaths for their team, too, I want to point out. Like, not a lot of running back. They've been keeping themselves alive for the most part, 4 at a time, 5 at a time.
Yeah. Gosh, this is not looking so great for Gale Force at all. This could be a hard bend to go around sometimes. They're already letting Selfless go through quite a ways. May actually, the Earth Shatter comes in, but immediately countered against by, well, their own brother Reinhardt. Gets slept, at least. Everyone's sleeping now. Regress the dog back out. And they do hold around the bend that I was talking about. And that's pretty good. They can actually start sending this a little farther back as well. But Selfless, this is the first time they've really been denied. Everything else has been going really well for them, so I imagine they're just going to kind of come back together, basically. They will have at least 2 ults, but nothing too earth-shattering there.
Haha, because Reinhardt did 2 Earth Shatters. Got it.
Because they don't have one now. Yeah, I know. But interesting tactic here to go along this path. It was actually a little bit expected. They didn't make the jump on a surprise.
Oh, Calvin with the ult, though. Combined with May's damage, takes out the whole team, and that was a really, really nice Graviton surge.
Yeah, I think that Gale Force just expected that move, you know? You have a character scouting this where they are right now. You don't see anyone. Or they saw them actually just go up there. And I don't know if that's really going to work without the surprise factor. You're just jumping into someone who's already prepared, basically. But like I said, like, they didn't have a lot of ults, Selfless that was. I mean, they still really don't, but they're starting to get that charge up. And once they have these 4 ults, then maybe they can actually push. But it's actually Gale Force with 4 ults, and I think they're going to be able to hold this spot again.
Well, make him with an ult, doesn't catch much of anything. Okay, that camera sucks. Let's not use that one again. Reinhardt's cut off from his team, unfortunately. He's got Reaper behind him, but they've got to get back together and consolidate if they want to push that payload. Got another high noon coming out of Rob. He's not been able to get much out of any of these high noons so far this game, and once again, is unfortunately going to get nothing much for it.
Oh, man. There was 2 ults that really did nothing from Gale Force. The May ult and the Earth Shatter from Muma, I believe. And yeah, they did end up like splitting the team. They weren't actually able to get the kills because they were split up. There we go, more ults on the way, but a sleep on that Reaper really helped out right into his own ult though, and even though he was slept, he still gets 3 of Gale Force. And that might be enough to push the card all the way.
Yep. Looks like Selfless will take all 3 points on Numbani. Not bad.
Very nice, actually. I mean, Gale Force is really starting to get something together around that bend, you know? So it was like, hey, maybe this just was like a little bit of a warm-up. But their ult advantage, not so much of an advantage. I think that was the biggest problem right there. Biggest disappointment for them, probably.
Quick point about this, too. Someone asking in chat, are all these best of 3? So the actual in-game stuff, like, yes, this map is worth 1 point in the overall best of 3 that is between the 2 teams. Every match, including the qualifiers, they're all best of 3s. The only thing where I'm worried terminology might get confusing is if the rare opportunity presents itself where we actually have a control point map slip through, the control point maps themselves are best of 5s, but they still only count towards 1 point in the actual best of 3 that is the score of the map.
Yeah, lots of numbers around here. Trust me, it gets less confusing after only a few watches. I know it's probably
a few Overwatches.
you. Okay, well, we all know that attack can sometimes be a lot easier, so looking forward to see what Gale Force can do now that they're on the attack. And I guess what Selfless can do that on the defense.
Well, I have just set some camera hotkeys that will hopefully not be a waste. But yeah, Gale Force on the attack, keeping a pretty interesting team composition together. With combination of Winston as well as Genji, that's a lot of mobility on the team. Mei seems there's like a lot of pros and cons to Mei on the attack. Like a lot of the pros are like if the Mei is good, if she can get the ice walls, if she can block out, say even Zarya's ult just by ice walling, great, you've done a lot. You can block out McCree's ult too. All of these wonderful things that are hypotheticals. But the question is like, can Calvin actually nail those ice walls? If not, it ends up being a pretty bad character.
Could he really be doing Widowmaker on the offense?
Hey, I'd love to see it. I'm a big fan of snipers.
She was buffed, but not significantly. But they're sticking to it. Okay, really cool. Actually see how well they can do with a Widowmaker. Widowmaker on offense can sometimes, it can be so surprising that it can do well. Or
oh, looking for the trick shot.
Himself is just amazing.
Well, keep my eyes on Calvin for a bit. He's eating a lot of Genji shurikens right now, and that's not a good start. The team taking a little bit of damage.
Oh, Winston actually jumps up with that Genji, so there's that mobility that you're talking about. They do get the Zarya. Not bad to take out the tank from right from the get-go, but a lot of damage still coming down, raining down on Gale Force. I don't think they're getting much headway. Well, actually, they kind of forgot about a Winston over here as they're chasing, but he's not going to get much done.
No, not in his zone.
Jumps back.
Rob was taking some damage, looking for the snipes. He's got his ult ready to go as McCree, but with a nano boosted Winston on him, I don't know if he get to use it.
Oh.
Nice shutdown by Genji. Whoa, what the happened? I just got stuck in a wall. Overwatch, are you for real? Okay, there we go.
But yeah, that was an excellent shutdown actually by the Genji on the McCree ult. McCree ult was kind of like, it almost looked desperate. I mean, on the low ground like that would be weird. It looks like we have Michael 3D trying to just buy more time, but it really seems like Gale Force got this. We have Winston going bananas from Selfless again, trying to keep them off this points. But you know, it's a lot of players against basically no players. So that Winston actually may be better off with 3D. In fact, McCree might be caught off guard too here. Like he would have looked so deep. They're gonna continue trying to save, and actually a nano boost now can actually save it. Oh no, actually they
Graviton Surge actually pulled everyone off the point. Yeah. That was actually really cool to see. It wasn't about the kills as much as it was just get off the point so we can take it. So Gale Force gonna push through this. Now as they do, the second point honestly not too hard. Once you get past that green bus, this push is pretty easy, but sometimes you get caught up around that green bus and things get really, really painful. We'll see if they get caught up in that push or not.
That was kind of a funny series of events, but the Graviton Surge was just like, please get off the point, man. We don't want you actually taking it back. Because if they'd taken it back after being down so many heroes, that would have been quite impressive.
Oh, Winston's jumping in once again. We got Genji dashing through that backline too. Dragon Blade's out. Earth Shatter goes down. There should be a lot of kills for Selfless.
Yeah, that's Lucio all trying to help out as well. I mean, everyone's still going ham, actually, pushing Gale Force all the way back, going after that Roadhog. He should be going down here.
Gets grabbed mid-charge. Shut down. Roadhog finally dies. Poor Calvin.
Very long time.
But that's what I was talking about. That green bus can be such an annoying choke point. Winston just kind of ulting around, buying more time. It's not really about killing the other team. It's about just staying alive. So he'll probably jump away out of the rage, go to those med packs, heal up, drop a shield. But looks like Gale Force will push through the bus. Now as they get closer and closer to that point, this should unlock the third, I guess, and final checkpoint for them to have to push through.
Yeah, they're doing a good job pushing, by the way. They're probably not going to beat, they're not going to beat Selfless in time, but, well, actually, maybe. But Selfless pushing in again. We have McCree's Deadeye actually trying to be interrupted by the Winston, but he actually dodges Winston going down. Doesn't actually get anything from it, though. Still, Nano Boost on McCree now as well. I mean, it's not bad. Any GPS Nano Boost is going to be scary, but...
I mean, I've been playing so much of that Brawl. I'm just so used to seeing McCree with the Nano Boost above everyone else.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with that? And there's really not too much wrong with it, to be honest, but the Reinhardt can actually start cleaving through, especially in the tighter points. If you had a Reaper, of course, that's the most popular. But even the Winston sometimes gets ulted as well. So the McCree was kind of like down the rungs, I suppose, what you usually see nano boosted. The point is they push it back. Graviton Surge, though, with the counter ult of the Lucio, trying to keep him alive for a little bit longer.
Yeah, we got McCree. McCree did get jumped by Winston in the back line, so he had to kind of walk around and wasn't able to set up for anything too big. We got that ult going off out of Reaper, but gets shut down pretty damn quick. And then can Gale Force clean up his payload and keep it going? Looks like they will be able to use that and finally hit that checkpoint. But their time compared to their opponents is way under right now.
Yeah. That was a really nice deny on Keller's Reaper right there. Like, he was in the midst of everyone. I mean, he didn't have the ults, the nano boost, but he's also done a lot of damage. So good focus fire from Gale Force eSports to do that.
Quickly set up a camera hotkey over here.
Okay. Selfless does have one ult, but it's on the McCree, which, I mean, most of the time is just more about getting people out of position than it is actually getting those kills. Nano boost on the Reinhardt, and Michael 3D is trying to go ham. Doesn't have much health left over. He gets the Zarya. He actually is getting healed too. So he's looking pretty good, going after the Ana now as well, and that goes down. And that is actually pretty much a team wipe.
Yeah, if you've never been Reinhardt while nano boosted, you've never felt the strength that comes from within, and you really just absolutely go ham, possessed by pure strength, if nothing else. But sorry about the camera work, guys. I'm still getting used to these new hotkeys. They're really cool, but if you don't double tap them, they move at a snail's pace. And it feels bad, man. Another nano boost comes down. This time goes into Genji for his Dragon Blade. Give him an extra swing or two, but not really hitting much of that backline. Barely takes out, well, frankly, nobody.
Yeah, but his team is doing work elsewhere, so he does eventually get the Lucio. He also gets the Reaper right there, and the rest of his team well, while you respond to someone who is nano boosted, whether it's a Reinhardt or a Genji, you're also like you're running away from them, right? Which can sometimes lead to you just getting picked off away from your teammates helping you live. They're gonna try and hold the point a little bit longer. So at this point, really just buying as much time as possible. So ult going down as well from everyone. And
I
it
mean,
looks like Selfless looking pretty good to actually hold this for quite a while longer.
another grab on
too
Surge. Well, they're still in range of the payload. Nope, that actually pulls them off. That's twice Gale Force eSports literally peeled their opponents off of the checkpoint with a grab on Surge, just saying, please let us get this, thank you.
That was actually really nice because they still had two. They were about to have, or two or three, and they were about another hero coming out from the defensive point, of course. Like, it's not a very long run from the very end point to your respawn, so they could have held it, you know, especially if they were trying to change over to like a Diva or a Tracer. And, you know, when it's clear, I mean, clear is a bit too strong of a word, but when it's obvious that your opponent's probably going to get the point, just take as much time off as possible. So round number 2 can go a little bit more in your favor.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm like 50-50 on these hotkeys now, the camera stuff. Because in some instances it's been really cool, give me some cool angles, quickly swap over to it, and in some instances it's just bad. There's also like no easy way to remember which one is which, other than like, okay, I set this one over here, there.
Yeah. I think that
if I mash all 3, it just makes me move very awkwardly.
I think that's most like live studio production still using the older workaround method, because the static camera points are really important and very, very useful. It's definitely like good they put them in there.
Transitioning them though on one point looks bad.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you got a second computer and you just swap to which is already there.
Exactly.
I guess I'll give Blizzard credit. Like, it's better. They're making improvements, but we'll see what this is like, you know, 3 months from now, 5 months from now. Anyways, coming in for the attack, we have Calvin defending or attacking once again with, Widowmaker on Gale Force, but that Reinhardt shield's gonna make it pretty much impossible to get any kills.
I do wonder why they went for the Widowmaker again. It didn't really seem to be that effective last time, but maybe we missed something like, they didn't really get any kills, of course, but maybe it was keeping people out of position.
Last time Calvin did get shut down by a Genji pretty hard, not so much this time around. Getting some nice shots here on that Winston, hopping around, already almost dead, killed on arrival, but still not going to be enough. Lots and lots of Selfless still in the defense.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, the Genji isn't there, you're right.
Oh, they're pushing up.
Oh, that's a little bit bold, yeah. But Winston can still take out the Widowmaker if he lands on top of her, so...
Wait a minute.
Changing over.
I remember, it wasn't Michael 3D... We've cast this guy before, haven't we? Or am I a similar name?
Only now that you mention it, I feel like I'm getting, like...
Because I don't remember the team, but maybe it's just like they've swapped players around already? I don't know.
I'm not sure, man.
My ultimate is
Now that you mention it, like, I feel like I do recognize it, but I also feel like that's just like my mind playing tricks on me.
Well, coming through the top side, looks like Gale Force wants to try and get some high ground on this fight. Winston can't quite shoot anybody. Lucio falling down may have been a huge problem, though. Put some clear insights to that Winston. He's picked off immediately. And now with the team starting to scatter, they're really losing any control of this high ground.
I really thought that Rob was going to be able to do something there, but actually the nano boost goes on the Winston, who hopped up and asleep on the Reinhardt, so he can't help his teammate. Unfortunately, I think he's attacked, though. Winston trying to go ham, but only managed to actually get one right there. And wait, did they jump off? Oh, I thought they jumped off. And Winston just jumped elsewhere. So Selfless still holds the point. Okay, so regardless of what happened right there, that is pretty important as time is running out.
It's overtime. They got to get there now. They got 5-something seconds to actually touch the point.
Genji, go for it, buddy. Or Winston, there you go.
on the objective.
Oh, that McCree behind the Reinhardt shield took it a lot down. At most, like, it's going to get everyone off the point as they try and hide and cover, but the nano boost on the Genji could help out the Graviton surge as well.
Chili doing a great job keeping that Winston alive, by the way. Throws down a grenade, keeps him alive with those sniper heals, and Gale Force isn't going to be shut down just yet, but Selfless still has a lot on the defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's lasting quite a long time. We have Reaper actually going down for Selfless, and be kicked off, but the nano boost and the Reinhardt should just, well, not getting a lot of kills, going after the Tracer now to transfer over to some superior characters, try and continue that overtime.
Their Ana did just get picked off. She was doing a majority of the healing. No disrespect to this Lucio, but those snipes are fantastic. We got a Tracer swap as well to keep the point stalled out for as long as humanly possible. I don't know if Keller can do it. He gets stunned by that McCree grenade, and looks like Gale Force will take the point, question mark? It's halfway there, and there doesn't look like there's anything here to stop them.
Yeah, I was really, when I saw the nano boost on the Reinhardt, I was pretty sure that would be like the nail in the coffin. But he actually couldn't reach anyone. Everyone was too far out of his way.
Keep in mind, guys, they are going to be on overtime for the rest of the match. Like, if they're off that payload for even 1 second, Selfless just needs one good team kill to shut down this push.
Yeah, or, you know, some of their own revenge Zarya ults, but they don't have Zarya, so I guess it's not happening.
Feel sad,
Catch
man.
someone off a point for a second, and then they'll stay off that point.
Well, speaking of Zarya ults, Selfless gets
Nice
destroyed. Wow.
Very nice combo. As I was talking about earlier in the cast, like I feel very rarely actually gets those Deadeye kills. Like maybe one, you know, someone's away from the Rhino show, something like that. But not like the 4 or 5 you might see with a Reaper ult or even a Genji ult when it's Graviton surged. But no Reinhardt to protect them.
I love this
win. Graviton surge, easy peasy for Calvin.
I love this Roadhog setup to try and catch anyone from behind. No one's going to be looking up as they come through, so gets behind, looks for the squishies, misses that hook, unfortunately, so we're not going to see the crazy Roadhog picks. Lucio versus Lucio ults.
Yeah, right? Earthshadow was pretty effective. It actually didn't get too many kills, but I still think that it disrupted team flow a bit. So that Selfless will be able to hold here. That, well, you know, funnily enough, they just wanted someone on that point. Again, just a second off the point and they're done. So I think it was a nano boost on the Lucio.
That gong, though.
Time.
Very, very important team kill.
Yep, but that, I mean, that could have been a lot worse, of course. They could have been held on the actual point. So at least they got it somewhere.
Cool, my hockey's actually stayed. Yay! I'm learning. But okay, so same thing kind of goes where they've got to push this payload. It's overtime at this point. If they get shut down on this first point, then it's all bad news bears from there. Selfless has the same sort of situation on their side. They've got about 3.5 minutes, which is nice because they had more time going into this. So thumbs up. This is a big positive here for them. But they've been fighting really well against Gale Force.
They actually have someone, I guess, either a fan or a manager of Selfless. Chile is apparently a sub.
Oh.
We also haven't been casting Overwatch for a very long time, and these teams aren't the top 16 teams that you're watching in the Chinese
Dude, I'm not even gonna
teams,
pretend like I
but...
know the top 16 players on the top 16 teams. Like.
Yeah. Well, anyways, but it's I really enjoy learning because like that's one thing we don't really get in StarCraft 2 casting is team dynamics.
No, 1v1. It's all you, baby. I do think, though, Chili, I'll give him credit. I've actually been spectating him for a bit for this, and for a sub, he's not doing too bad. Really playing that support role very well.
I think that's who he was trying to say was the support, but alright. Gates are open. Here comes Selfless.
Will they take the high ground? They're going to go for the high ground.
Yes, they are.
No, actually, excuse me. They're going all the way around? This is a little bit more unconventional. It might just be that, like, what's going on here factor that catches Gale Force off guard.
Gale Force, I think Selfless was expecting Gale Force to be up here in some capacity, but the Roadhog that was kind of scouting out did just want to retreat and tell his team where everyone was coming from. So they still managed to actually be in a cohesive team fight for Selfless's push.
Gale Force is still trying to hold that high ground, but they do have to jump down now that the point's being contested. You got Reinhardt missing his charge. You got McCree here with a high noon. Goes for the big shots. Everybody hides, though, and not many die.
Yeah, when everyone hides, though, you're going to hope that you can pick someone off. Lasting a very long time. Of course, Selfless with a little bit more time to do their push. Still wants to get this as fast as possible.
Right now, Keller getting some really important picks. Taking out that Reaper, taking out that Roadhog. This should secure him the payload.
Yeah, looks like it. Not too badly timed for that.
This isn't good for Gale Force, though, because with such a quick payload, you'll know there's no overtime timer ticking. They've got 2 minutes to comfortably push, and they don't even have to get all the way.
Our ultimate is almost ready.
That's very true. I mean, 2 minutes is very nice in the context of this game. Oh, nice Genji deflect. But it still can actually be an eternity, or it can be like the fastest thing ever in Overwatch. It's dynamic, I guess, of like how much time you have left over.
Calvin almost has his own high noon ready to go. Looks like he's about charged up now, and of course goes for it. Winston unfortunately going to knock him back, and looks like even with a nano boost, double ults wasted. Feels bad, man.
Oh, yeah, that nano boost. Don't know what you think about that, but the nano boost and the Genji with the Dragon Blade should be a lot better for Selfless.
Keller also setting up his own high noon. Doesn't get a lot of kills with it, but gets some nice damage. Picks off Calvin. Calvin hits him back with that grenade. Looks like Keller's the better McCree.
I guess so. They still have 2 alive to the tanks. Nope, sorry, that is 1
This
alive.
is not going to work out for Gale Force, though. I think that with Zarya going down especially, they're going to have no way to stop this. Payload reaching that point right now. Lucio just riding into victory, and
That's bad.
GG.
Like 1 minute and 15 seconds, I want to say. So one of the smoothest runs we've seen from point A to point B. Nicely done by Selfless.
Yeah, that'll be a very nice 1-point score on the board. So Gale Force esports fans, don't fret just yet. They've still got a whole another map to fall back to, which I believe is either Dorado or, gosh, I've forgotten the other one, but
Route 66.
Route 66. Thank you. Oh, I got out of the game too soon. That's right. Play of the match, guys. Don't want to miss this.
Yeah. This is
Nah,
such
these-
a nice feature when they introduced Overwatch, and it still is a really cool. Oh, that was actually really nice. It's still really a cool feature, but it has lately, in the last month or so, I would say, just been all about the Reaper, and I've wondered how many people actually care about the play of the game now.
Well, I mean,
But we actually didn't see Reaper being the highlight hero in any of these back and forths in this game.
I was gonna say actually, yeah, for this particular match between these two teams, not the case. But then you had Bowser and some others from the previous qualifier, where it was like all them all the time,
Yes.
always. And
For sure.
you're right. Like that what was it called, the Beyblading and whatnot, was kind of crazy and ridiculous.
Yeah. That might change just because, I mean, different teams or teams that aren't full-time professionals, you do see just different styles of play, or they can't execute the perfect style in the perfect way, so they don't do it, or something like that, But I would also say that there was a patch recently, so the lack of Reaper getting 6 billion kills like last time, or just the lack of Reaper actually being the man to watch every single time, again, might be just because of the teams and how they play, or it might be because of the patch. I wouldn't say it's because of the patch though. I haven't got to watch a lot of pro games after the patch hit.
I haven't
but
seen anything since the patch hit. I didn't even know about these
There you
camera
go.
hockeys until you brought them up.
Yeah, so the changes were on Ana, Junkrat, and Widowmaker. They actually buffed Widowmaker a little bit, and they also hotfixed her. Apparently she had a bug with her ultimate, I want to say. After the scope, it wouldn't actually appear or something, I forget. But Junkrat's Riptire, but Junkrat's very, very rarely used. But the Ana, they increased the time it took to get to her ult, which was definitely the biggest, brightest suggestion anyone could have to kind of fix her, because a lot of the games are coming down to what can Ana do, especially with Reaper or Reinhardt, and that was really the game. You'd wait for that, and that would be when you pushed. And they also they nerfed that, but then they buffed her grenade, medicine grenade, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Thank you to Jono1232, and yeah, we're ready. Interesting. Again, not casting Overwatch for rarely ever, right? 4 months ago at this point was the first time we did it, and then getting back into it because it's such a fun game to cast. But just reading some of the analysis on it, I suppose some people will argue that change is actually just a straight up buff to Ana, because you're still waiting for the other 2 heroes' ultimates anyways. You want to boost with Reaper's ultimate or with Reinhardt's ultimate. So what does it matter if you're waiting, if Ana takes a little bit longer to ult, basically? It still gets up pretty quickly. That's one of the biggest differences that I've seen between own personal play and pro players, is certainly that their ults seem to get charged so much faster.
Well, a lot of that has to do with hits, though, right? When you're watching a lot of the amateur players play, when you're playing in your own game, you're screaming at that Zarya, why is your ult still not ready? It's because they're not hitting. That's just plain and simple. You got these pro players, they know how to land their shots. They're probably better at landing the shots that they do land. More headshots, more damage, all that good stuff. So it's not super surprising, but you're right. That is a pretty big point to note. When you're watching versus playing your own games, it's very noticeable. You're wow, that Zarya just got 3 ults off, and the time it takes me to charge 1. What's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, TLDR, as we get into this next game, is that the Ana change may actually not disrupt her place in the meta, basically, is the most TLDR way I could put it. And so you still see her, in every single one of these games, right?
I would agree. It's... For Ana, what I find interesting is the long-range heal capabilities. You look at Lucio, you look at Mercy, you look at... I guess maybe Zenyatta's the exception to this, too, where you can just heal from very far away. everyone else, you kind of have to be up in the action, and it's not always preferable.
Well, the game has begun on Dorado
Oh,
immediately.
Keller. Keller's a Hanzo coming out of this, too. An undead Hanzo at that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That Hanzo's not just to get a scout or a quick scope on the team comp. It's actually sticking with it for now. Not too rare, or, well, no, it's pretty rare, but it's not like, oh my god, what's he doing? Why is he playing a Bastion? Which also has been happening lately, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, Keller getting some okay shots, nothing too crazy.
Moving the payload.
Sorry, guys, I don't know which camera I'm looking for here. 4. There we go. 4. We get to the payload. We got the team pushing in from that high ground now, Selfless that is, and for them, I mean, this is a tough choke to break, but they come through with force. Everybody jumping through that window in unison, busting right on through. No stopping them from Gale Force eSports. They get picked apart 1 or 2 at a time, and even Keller's just on that front line with the Hanzo, not even sitting back. He's right up in the action.
Talk about a rush, man. When I see them leap onto Gale Force's team, I was actually very afraid that all of them would just die, right? Like a couple of AoE hits happen and they're dead. And actually, Chili almost died at least, but in fact, most of them survived, which is like the absolute worst I would say for Gale Force. But at least Gale Force comes back together. They won't split push or anything like that. Yeah. And they're ready to go. They also have a couple of ultimates already charging. We have Ana almost ready, but almost 70% on a lot of other people. So they're pretty well set up here. This is a very common spot to defend.
Keller with that behind the lines sort of Hanzo coming in. Might get pushed back by Zarya. Looks like he will. Oh, good save.
Usually the super sneaky character if he's trying to be. They're still pushing the cart though, which could be a problem, you know, like as good as their poke is and that they're charging their ult and whatnot, like I actually want to stop the cart and there we go. Sleep immediately on the Reinhardt, but Calvin gets the nano boost. Oh, I said it like that. Nano boost.
Nano.
It's nano because it's from Ana.
I give it to Cal. He's getting some good hits here, but not getting the. He's not the one getting the killing blows, sadly. He's still got that ultimate ready to go too. Not anyone to really use this on. Not worth using on just 1 or 2.
Keller like takes the high ground from them, by the way.
There we go. There's a good combo.
Very nicely done.
By the way, this is one of those few times where you wish you had a Zenyatta in your team. It's really the only way to stop that from killing you if your team gets caught in that. Lucio's ult's usually not enough. Reinhardt's shield does nothing. I mean, it's such a gross and disgusting combination of ultimates.
It certainly is. Well, this is kind of reminiscent of the very first push we saw from.
Oh, Calvin coming with an ult from behind.
Very
not
nice
gonna get to use it
right there. Rob Witz gets 2. Still alive, trying to continue on.
Getting a little bit balls versus that Reinhardt, but does kill him. Slays the Dragon Slayer.
But as I was saying, this is kind of looking reminiscent of the first push on our last map, and that Selfless looked almost like unbeatable, and I was like, oh shit, can Gale Force actually do this? But they were able to bring it back in their own attack, and then the second defense wasn't too terrible, but the point is their attack was a lot better, like Selfless's was. So while they're getting pushed pretty quickly here, I mean almost a full 5 minutes left over for Selfless. I'm not quite counting Gale Force out of this. Another engagement goes down.
Yeah, Blank jumps in the back line, but unfortunately runs right on top of the Reaper. The last hero on the team you want to see is Winston. This choke's going to be hard to do. They're down a member of their team. It's 5v6 right now.
The Earthshatter and the Reinhardt's running at each other and killing each other, by the way. But Calvin goes absolutely ham. Down to boost ultimate to take out the opponent's Reaper as well. That should push him.
You know, Rob Woods is still ready to go, by the way. Like, he's got that ultimate charged. Okay, didn't go so well from there, but comes back in for round 2. Chili's almost charged up as well, so we may have that combination come in. I don't know. But I will point out that Keller, once again, has his Hanzo ult, and as Zarya's at 64%, you gotta wonder how deadly this could be on that final push where the entire defending team is gonna be choked up on that payload.
Absolutely. Finally, that Chuck starting to push back a little bit, but just immediately pushing forward once again. Sucks how long it takes to push back forward. Actually, pretty aggressive maneuver from the Winston. The tank's basically coming forward here.
He's been consistently trying to jump on their back line, but, you know, Reaper's been there to catch him. Hanzo's not dying to it. They're handling the Winston really well.
Oh, once again, the Earthshatter's missing. And they both ran out to this point of accidentally Earthshattered into each other's shields.
Oh.
Michael 3D does go down. The ultimate comes from Hanzo.
Ends up being a total waste. The Reaper just goes for him, Wraith form, out of it. Wow, Disaster still got his Lucio all ready to go. The defense doesn't look too bad. That was their one really big scary push, but you just heard the gong in the background, and that team kill shuts down the momentum.
Oh, they just got Robwitz. So it's very split push here for Selfless. That kind of sucks. But this is nice. All right, Gale Force is finally finding their foothold around this bend and actually able to push Selfless back. They both have some pretty equal ultimates. So the next engagement will be an interesting one, depending on positioning and who can get the better end of things. Calvin is trying to hide. He's waiting for Selfless to push in. There they go. Nano boosted as well. Not getting the kills quite yet, but definitely splitting up Selfless.
Well, Selfless at the end of the day does manage to take out the front lines, but here's that back line. Reinhardt's got their back with that Earth Shatter. They're stunning the entire team, and they're going to be able to push this payload.
It was Calvin who was supposed to get the surprise from behind instant kills, but he actually was unable to get the kills. I think if he had his own ultimate, that would have been a different story. But it's actually
Genji's got to
Michael
get on that
3D,
payload.
and Reinhardt that gets behind the team Earthshatter. Slept right now, and there's Calvin's ultimate going down. Gets at least Chili. Probably get Michael 3D. No, he's the one that's got from Michael 3D, and he's still alive for the shield. There he goes down now.
Kellerod also swapped out to a Tracer. Not sure if this is desperation or just choice, because timing permits that you want all these fast people get in that payload as fast as you can. But as we can see, that Tracer unfortunately doesn't get to accomplish too much.
Selfless will have the Zarya ultimate soon here, and that can be comboed with either Robwitz or Keller's Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb's going to be fantastic for that scenario, but he might just be looking for picks at this point. I don't know. Watching that Tracer dart all over the map, trying to get something done.
Once again, a bit of a waste in the Zarya ult. Only gets the Reaper that just dodged out of it, basically.
I will give Keller props, though. He's being so annoying on this Tracer. Just going to watch him down the backside. This new third-person over-the-shoulder spectating they put in is fantastic, by the way. Could not stand spectating Tracer before. That actually looks pretty cool to watch.
Oh, okay, that's cool. But man, I really gotta, like, you know, very rarely want to, like, pinpoint mistakes for me to play, like, how good am I, right? But, like, I feel like that's two Graviton surges at least from Selfless that have been on the exact same point too, like around that corner, that have only gotten the Reaper who just dodges out of it.
I agree. It feels like it's getting a little bit desperate almost. That Earth Shatter is going to be fantastic. Nanoboost and Reinhardt comes to the back line. Look at the chop swing and squish everything he can get his hands on. Unfortunately, though, chasing through the back doesn't net him much. It looks like Michael is going to pick up that kill, that execute.
Yeah, that wasn't a terrible Graviton surge. Speaking of, I guess for both teams, as it did keep the nano boosted Reaper back a little bit, but just as soon as
oh my God, that stall once again.
On top of the rest of the team. Barely. There it is.
So here's the good thing for Gale Force, right? Downside is they let all 3 points get captured. Okay, that sucks. But unlike on Numbani, where they Selfless had like 3.5 minutes going to the following round, there's like 30 seconds going into it.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually pinpoint the time where I said they had 5 minutes. It was around the first curve of this area. And they actually took it 4.5 minutes to get through the rest of the S curves. So that was pretty impressive from Gale Force.
Yeah, real maps have curves.
Exactly.
I'm sexy. All right,
totally.
So the question, of course, is going to be coming out of Selfless now. Like, what are they going to be doing? And will they be able to stop this? Because for them, they've got 3 points racked up. They're already doing really good. If they can do anything to stop Gale Force from taking 2 points, from getting all the way to that third, then they win. Easy peasy, 2-0, move on to the qualifying bracket.
Yep.
I will note for those as well who aren't paying attention to the brackets too closely that this is not a qualifying match, but the next match will be.
Should be at least 4 more matches after this. We want to cast all the qualifying rounds. This might be the first one up because they do have an opponent that was buyed, whatever the verb for buy is.
Walked over?
No. Don't be silly.
By the way, speaking of just something completely unrelated, this has happened twice that I've noticed, and half you cool says that nanoboost lag out. So for some reason, I'm noticing if I'm not in Anna's, like if I'm in Anna's first person point of view, the nanoboost actually isn't looking like it hits anything. But if I'm in third person or just free camera moving around, you can see the nanoboost quite clearly. So that may just be a small bug. I love the wall art that Selfless has been doing, by the way, during the wait period.
So I thought that Gale Force is going to commit to the Pharah Mercy, but they did change their Mercy over to Lucio. And you usually, if you're going to use Pharah...
Well, actually, this would be an amazing time to have Pharah out. There's nothing, there's no McCree, there's no Soldier. Maybe Roadhog gets a hook on her?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, exactly. The Roadhog might get a hook, but This is interesting. I do think like still having the Mercy with her would be pretty cool, but it is what it is.
This Pharah skin is so cool, by the way. I love the glowy effects. The Halloween skins have been really awesome in general. Hook does not quite reach that Pharah like Roadhog wanted. Arena's not going to quite get it just yet, but that hook will come off soon. They get the payload to the choke point, but really this is where the fight begins. This is where the real battle for Dorado point 1 happens.
Yeah. I do wonder how much of a surprise that hard choice was to Selfless, who did have to retreat from what is usually a pretty set up position fairly quickly. Trying to get on the choke here, the stairway here.
Lots of damage coming in. Justice. Is it ready to rain?
No. We go. It was looking to rain, I suppose, but I was gonna say the Roadhog missed, but then somehow the Maze Icicle hits. It's actually kind of hard to hit the Pharah with that, so it's very unfortunate for Gale Force.
And a boosted Reaper. Not gonna be for any ults or anything. Yeah, you got Zarya on this backline too with 100 energy. This Earth Shatter was huge.
Yeah, very nice.
Reinhardt though with a nano boost might still get the kills. He picks him up on the stairs. Michael goes down. Oh my god, that fire strike was amazing.
That was an amazing combination. I feel like we haven't seen that in quite a while. So
Hello.
About the either the graviton surge, which that is part of that highlight, of course, but. Or the Reaper, but finally the Reinhardt might get that play of the game that he deserves.
Well, Reaper's going to get on the point. They're not going to quite sail through to the first point as easily as I think they were hoping, but still get here very quickly. Roadhog ult just pushing everyone back. This leaves Arena a little bit exposed. There's that Lucio to keep Gale Force alive. Calvin in the back line gets shut down with his ult Night Hook, even though Roadhog goes down.
Well, it looks like Gale why do I keep doing that?
Gale Force
eSports. Gosh darn. Is looking to push this actually to that point. May and Reaper trying to buy as much of it as possible. May finally goes down. Reaper's gonna die too. They're a little bit they have to actually consolidate to wait for their now recently deceased teammates to come forth. Swap over to Genji from the Pharah. Done what they can with the Pharah.
Yoga Gear, by the way, asking chat about $1 donation codes. Those will be available for the final event. They're not going to be available for the qualifiers. So, thank you, though, nonetheless.
My ultimate is ready.
Selfless does have everyone on the high ground. Calvin is looking for... I want to say he's waiting for, like, yeah, the Reinhardt to drop down. He usually initiates the drop down. He usually just gets pushed off, though, so nothing too much there. Gonna be able to come over behind, though, and get the Reinhardt.
Anna doing some really nice healing from the back line. WGB trying to keep his team alive, but that payload's actually blocking most of him out. However, that Reaper can't get the kills he wants because she won't falter, and Anna keeps people alive.
Dak was actually doing a nice job trying to bounce around on that, but unfortunately does get taken out to rejoin his team. Zarya now going to get taken out, actually, way away from her team.
I'm real sad that we lost the Pharah, by the way. Really like seeing Pharah in action. The good Pharah is like one of the craziest things to watch in Overwatch.
I do think like the combo with the Mercy is like a beautiful thing, but I also think that eventually she is just something that's going to be countered again, like their ice are hitting. The sleep on Robwood's Reaper that was nano boosted was pretty huge right there. He's actually been out of commission for most of the fights, and he's going to go down perhaps to the Reinhardt.
This let Calvin do a lot of the cleanup, but Calvin is, well, never mind to take it back, so he's going to go down. Instead kills the Reinhardt, gets his soul, eats it up, heals up, and now it's only Zarya. Rena's about to go down to this Reaper as well. Calvin absolutely cleans up through that fight.
This is a very nice push from Gale Force. Not quite as good as Selflessness. Oh, it actually might be. The point. Genji actually picks up Chili. They're on and down.
My ultimate is charging.
It's just a scratch.
Well, they got 4 minutes now to push in. It's not too bad in the timing, and this should be totally possible for them to get all 3 points at this rate. They've had really good momentum getting here. Selfless doesn't have that ironclad defense.
Well, whereas Selfless had 5 minutes from this point, basically, 4 is still not bad at all. If they can get a really good team fight, they can push it faster forward. Not starting off with that good team fight, though. I feel like I jinxed them a little bit. Most of their team going down, actually, Keller getting the last few kills.
Rob and Keller together have been getting some pretty nice kills.
Yeah. A little unfortunate there, so they do have to consolidate, but they do have almost all of their ult, actually, so maybe not so unfortunate. I mean, it always sucks to die, you know? You'd love to have everyone up and ready to go with their ultimates alive, but they're all coming in together for the most part, and they are going to have all 6 ultimates.
Now that, of course, is very powerful. This is like one team wipe could push this to the end, so they got to be careful how this goes down. Tracer waiting in the back line.
of the Nano Boost and the Genji, I feel, was a little bit late after that Winston, but starting to get the kills now in the back line. Chile goes down. Rob with Nano Boosted as well in the Reaper, but the Earth Shatter stops him in his tracks, and Luis is going to hope to...
but it's 2v5, and how much can you really do in 2v5? Swing away, Reinhardt, swing away, but it's not going to be good enough. The only one that comes out of that with his ult still intact is going to be Calvin, but as good as an ult as Reaper can be, he's not going to carry this team alone. There's going to have to be some good teamwork to really get this point. They didn't even make, with 6 ultimates available, they didn't even make like an inch of progress.
Yeah, that's really bad, I would say, and I think they would agree too. They really could do a little bit more, but it did feel like everything was a little bit disjointed. Like they all were supposed to come in together, but then actually you had 2 from the left and 2 from the right, and then not everything was, I guess, cohesive. And Selfless also did a good job just responding to the number and different types of ultimates as well.
Of course, all this is about trying to break that Reinhardt shield or charging through to take him out of the fight. The problem is that does put him on the back lines alone and without support, but looks like it's not going to matter. Calvin gets a kill on the Reinhardt, but the rest of the team dies.
Yeah. And the poor Pharah felt so useless. She was up in the back. Gets kicked off now. And Gale, of course, man, despite how good they were doing, again, only a minute under Selfless's time to the almost exact same point, now getting really hung up on. I mean, just like they hung up Selfless, I suppose. Maybe they can still push it through in the last 30 seconds.
I'm not super worried for them just yet, but we are getting to that overtime, and they don't have a lot of ults ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, that Reaper on the backside didn't even have to pop his ultimate. He just left clicks the team down through that Zarya ults. That combination. Rob was bringing the damage to the party, that's for certain.
Yeah. I will say this, a lot of this has been deja vu. I mean, you had a bunch of ults also for Selfless around that same bend, and they were unable to do anything against Gale Force's defense. So maybe this will just be like deja vu all over the place. Last 30 seconds going to Gale Force. And they do have a couple of ultimates ready. They have been getting denied the last, what, 4 or 5 engagements. They really need one to go in their favor. That Nano Boost is looking to do a lot. Doesn't get so much. Gets at least a tank. There we go. The other tank goes down now, too.
Calvin got some pretty nice kills. Problem is, though, even with Calvin getting the kills that he is, they've still got to push that payload, right? Like, that's the goal here. And the payload's gotten pushed so far back that it's almost at the spawn point of this final push, so they've got a lot of time they got to make up for. I think Selfless can get one more defensive fight in, but they're gonna have to trickle in, which is gonna suck.
Just a little longer. Bear down.
How did the Zarya pick her down? I missed it. Well, that sucks. So there's split push even a little bit more here. Maywall comes down, trying to section off the teammates. Doesn't quite work like that. Calvin picks up the first Reaper kill, though. That could be a nice start.
Michael trying to hold the line, charges forward. There's another Graviton Surge. This should clean up Selfless. Gale Force, though, doesn't get kills. This only the Reinhardt goes down. Now starting to clean up the rest of the team, and they should be able to get this point.
I was going to say that Reinhardt tried its best to save his brethren with his shield.
Well, actually, hold the phone. I really liked that Graviton Surge at Arena, and looks like they'll shut this down. 3-2.
No, you hate when that happens.
Blink's right there. Yeah, he's like right there. He must have been like just an inch out. I don't know what, but barely couldn't keep that game going.
Yeah. That is unfortunate, but we believe that means Selfless wins.
Yep. Gale Force knocked out of the tournament. Thank you for showing up, and if we ever run another Overwatch event, we hope to see you guys again. But
yeah,
here with that play of the game.
This should be play of the game. That was pretty cool.
Excuse me, play of the match. Yeah, this is Gucci right there. That Nano Boost, and you're gonna see that Fire Strike cleaning it up at the end. Oh,
the timing with his voice line was amazing.
As a Reinhardt player, it feels so good to watch that happen.
That was very nicely done indeed. So now we're going to look at the bracket and see who else has advanced. If anyone is a little bit faster and has a match already to go. Yes, actually. Tempest and...
Catface.
Catface, there you go.
I'm not sure what you want to call him, but awesome stuff. Well, we're going to go get things sorted. Hopefully the video's done soon. I know you guys probably want to see the videos on stream, but we'll just play a commercial break as quick as we can and hopefully be back for that new best of 3 ASAP. So thank you for watching, and don't go anywhere.